we had the same issue that we had before with the bilge pump just deciding it wasn't going to work.
I'm doing inventory of all our food and where it is. So we just got back from the Miami boat show. Getting used to is super different than hang. This is the life.
Alright, so what I'm doing today is we had the same issue that we had before with the bilge pump just deciding it wasn't going to work. So we had to manually pump on our trip here, which thank God it happened to us before because we didn't stress out about it that much. We're like, alright, well I guess we're just going to have to manually pump it every hour or two. So the good news about that is that our 4 gallons per minute bilge pump also is the exact same as our shower sump. So I'll show you here. All I did was swap it out. So I just plugged it in. I literally just unwired it, took off the hoses, brought it over here, plugged in the hoses, wired it back in, and it's working great. Tested it with a bowl of water to make sure it was pulling water, and we're good to go because everything was working fine. The rocker switch was coming up, the pump was kicking on, but it just wasn't doing anything. So I'm gonna take this, and since this is a West Marine part, I heard a whole bunch of rumors that if you buy West Marine stuff, it's warranted for life. So I'm gonna take it back to them, see what I need to do. Maybe I can get a replacement. If not, maybe there's a rebuild kit here. Maybe some of the O-rings went out, just whatever. And so that's not uncommon to have pumps do that. So right now I'm just going to wire this all back in because it gives us peace of mind that we just don't have to worry about our bilge filling up and the boat sinking. So yeah. Woo. Hey, what are you doing?
So we're getting ready to leave on passage. So I'm trying to create a menu. So I'm doing inventory of all our food and where it is. So I know what we have. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Tell them what I'm doing.
You're getting rid of that stupid cable.
Yes. No more being plugged into the inverter to then run the fridge. Yeah. Yeah. Now I have to, like, boat projects, which you take stuff out of where I had to get to the batteries. It all has to go somewhere, and usually it's right in the middle of the floor.
This is the worst part, that we only have this little floor space to work, and every time you work on anything, everything goes here. So anything that's expired, that's not good, is here, so we don't put it accidentally back. Everything that we had stored in the 3/4 berth, like my sewing machine, extra stuff like our vacuum cleaner and all that stuff, everything needs to come out, and everything also ends here in the middle of the floor until we're done. So good thing everything's always organized.
Yeah, no shit.
Right? Because we have to get everything out and check it every single time. So
yeah, but guess what? No more of this.
Yes.
To make that run. I'm so happy I was able to hide the 12-volt plug back here. So we have our 12-volt plug. This was an immortal pain to run because I had to come all the way down through underneath the sofa, down around underneath the galley, under the sink, through the air conditioning duct, all back through the countertops, all the way back through the lazarette, down underneath, through the engine compartment, across, down, in through the firewall, and then back into the battery compartment to put it on our battery blocks. So yeah, we are completing our list for the day. Yeah. Now before we go on passage, of course I got to check the engine, the rigging, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff, and do a complete run through on the boat, make sure everything's full, topped off, and yeah, so this should be an interesting adventure. She's doing a lot of riding, so I don't know how much this is going to cost us when we go to Provision.
It's not a lot of writing. I just have to be super specific so we can put it in inventory in the actual computer so it's easy to search. So I just have to do it. Just gotta.
Yeah, and another thing I gotta do is I gotta clean up, because that's the one thing about doing a project is as soon as we finish, I have to make sure I put everything away, because even if you're like, oh, I'll do it later, no. You won't be able to move around the boat. So that'll make us claustrophobic and drive us crazy. So that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, the current is going by here at a pretty decent click. It's about, I don't know, about a knot and a half. But that banging, yeah, it's because the current's pushing us one way and the wind's pushing us the other. So yeah, you really can't hear it out here that much, the banging around, but it's banging the mooring ball up against the hull of the boat. So when you're downstairs, it sounds like something's raking down the side of the hull, and one of the ropes is about to pop. So every time it happens, we have to jump up here and go check it out and see what's going on. So, but that's what happens. We have the wind blowing us north and the current going south. So the current's always going to win and point the boat in the direction that the current's coming from, and the wind's just going to blow you into the current. So yeah, so we get this nice knocking going on. So for the past couple days, it's been pretty interesting with all the high winds and the current, and then we just get that ba-bum, 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 ba-bum up against the hull, which is right next to the V-berth. So yeah, it's awesome. But hashtag boat life, right? It's just how it is.
So we just got back from the Miami Boat Show and it was amazing. We had so many new products and things that we saw that we really wanted to bring into our boat. So we'll go over those definitely as we go through them, including a really neat trash can and some other things. Like one of the things now that we're going in the Caribbean and moving further down is that our dinghy was PVC. So it wasn't the best dinghy for the cruising that we were trying to do. So I introduce you
the child.
The child. Our brand new Czar Mini Hypalon rib. Super excited. So can't wait to give you a formal review on this. We checked out all of the main dealers that were there, and the one that impressed us the most was one that's fairly new to the American market. It's made by Czar, Z-A-R, and they have brought to America the Czar Mini. Considering that we're gonna go around the islands, it's a lot easier if we can beach the dinghy and just hop out. So now that we have our new dinghy, we had a blast. We need to get it out there. We're gonna go out exploring, and it was amazing. Matanzas Pass has so many little islands and beaches that you can just dinghy over. They're super shallow, so the dinghy really is the best way to go, and we had so much fun. This is why we wanted to sail around the world, so we can kind of control how many people are around us and just kind of change the pace. Just have fun, relax, and just spend some us time without having to be somewhere and do something that was kind of difficult to do on land, and one of my favorite things that I've done since sailing. Getting used to is super different than Hank. Hank, I had to crisscross and be sitting down. In this one, I can actually stand up all the way and just stand up front. Kind of different, kind of cool.
It's a lot smoother of a ride too.
Yeah, I really like it. This is the life. You just get to sit here. Take me out to the ocean. Let's go. I am Moana.
You're Moana with so what am I? Tobo US?
You're
Tobo US?
Tobo
Go that
Mary?
way?
Yeah,
Go that way.
I don't know. Yeah. Which way? Which way to Kokomo?
Which way to Cocoa Beach?
Kokomo.
Oh, Kokomo? That way. That way.
Oh, that's more like it. 10.5.
Okay. All right, so tell me what you were just doing.
So low tide gets really low and our charts go to 0 to 6 feet. Our draft is 5.5, so we like going by 6 feet. So I was using the depth finder on the way that we will head out at low tide.
Yep.
To see what the shallowest area was, which was by the bridge. And it looks like the shallowest was like 6.7, I said.
Okay.
So we should be good to go.
Yeah, because we want to leave. Because when we want to leave,
be low tide.
yeah. So yeah, sweet. That way, when we leave here, we know we got enough clearance, and then we can get to our next destination of Marco Island.
Yeah, this was one of our goodbye presents from work. So thank you so much for this handy dandy depth finder. Totally came in helpful again.
Again, yep. So Dan, thank you so much for pitching in, helping us get this. It was awesome, man.
And all our coworkers.
Yeah, true.
You know,
All our coworkers. So just so you guys know, we do use this, and it is very helpful, very essential to our passage making.
Now we know where and when to leave at high tide or low tide and not break the boat.
Yes. I don't need to clean the bottom of the keel.
No, not yet. Thank you for watching this week's video. I really hope you're still enjoying everything. Keep the comments and questions coming. We'll try to answer them as fast as we're getting them. If you haven't done so, subscribe on YouTube, and also make sure that you follow us. And if you really like us, consider becoming a Patreon. The link will be right below. Otherwise, see you next week. Bye.